Hello, Nomad Sculpt, and this video is about topology and remeshing in general. So, okay, let's go to Nomad Sculpt. First, I'm not a professional 3D artist, but I try to explain everything a little bit. Okay, so this video is about topology and remeshing, and I'm starting with this topic here. It's about smooth shading. So first I turn the wireframe off, and here let's have a look at this sphere, and here is a subsetting in the three dots menu. Here you can change the post subdivision, so but I leave it for now. And it looks like a sphere. But when you turn the wireframe on, you see here the wireframe, and this is the topology, so the mesh on the sphere. And the smooth shading thing is only visual, so it makes the whole thing soft. And you can find this smooth shading setting here in the display settings here. So here. And also here in the material settings per object. So here you can turn off the smooth shading for this object. And this is what you get. And not this. This is only a fake. So it's a visual thing. So to see the real mesh, you have to turn off smooth shading. This is your actual mesh, and so it looks like this and not like this. This is important to know. So because maybe I'll make an example. So when you remesh this thing here, then you get a sphere looking like this and not like this. So remember this thing here, the smooth shading here, on, off. This is an important thing. Okay. And it's also possible here to use this smooth shading thing here in the shortcuts. You find here a shortcut for smooth shading, and then smooth shading is, let me see, where is my smooth shading? Here. Here is my shortcut for smooth shading. Okay. So this was topic number 1. So the next thing is the wireframe. The same for the wireframe. There's a shortcut at the bottom for the wireframe. You find the shortcut. Here you find the wireframe button, and also here in the shortcuts you can add this wireframe thing here to the bottom shortcut. And yeah, so this is also an important thing to see the wireframe. So you see here, this is the wireframe of the word here, and this is the wireframe of the cylinder. Okay. So this is the wireframe. We don't need it anymore. And the next thing here is what we are talking about. So here the the wireframe on the cube, and there are a few parts, and a single vertex is such a point here. So this is a vertex. And sorry, I'm using the move tool. So, and it's possible to move single vertices, so with a move tool, and deform the mesh. The whole thing here, so 4 vertices here, and this here is called a face. And so, and between 2 vertices, this is a edge. So maybe I'm using the mask and I'm masking this edge here. So now you can move this edge around. Okay. So the next thing is, I'm starting with a tip. So start as low poly as, sorry, you can read it. Start as low poly as possible and only increase the poly count if necessary. Because, so I'm starting here with this. So you see here an example for low poly count. This is a cube only with 8 vertices, and this is the same cube with high poly count. So for the tip here, start as low poly as possible, because when you want to deform this cube, maybe with a move tool, so it's easy to manipulate the mesh or the vertices when the poly count is very low. And for this here, I also use here the setting for smooth shading off. You can see now the real mesh for this. And yeah, you can move around the whole thing, and it's very easy to sculpt with this. The same here when I'm validating this cube and try the same, it deforms completely in another way. So it's not possible to move the edges around and keep the mesh sharp. So with this here, it's not possible to move the edges. So, okay, so this was a low poly mesh is like this, and a high poly mesh is like this. Okay. So the next thing is quads and tris. So you see the difference. So here you see a quad mesh, everything is quads, and this mesh here is, it's quads, but they are divided in half, so they are tris. So, and this here is other tris mesh, so yeah, it's wild, and yeah, but you know the difference now between the different forms of the mesh. So, and a quick example here. So this here is a topology menu here. You find here multi-resolution, voxel remesh, dynamic topology, and other things here. And here in the dynamic topology or in the MISC menu, you find here the options to decimate the whole thing. And there are, for decimation, there are settings here. So, and you can change the target triangles. So when I change this here to 100% and press now decimate, you get such a tris mesh here, like this 100% decimated, and now it's tris. Okay. So the next thing I talk about is the multi-resolution thing here. You see here a low poly cube, and here in the middle, this is the same cube with one multi-resolution level. So here, you see here is in the topology menu, there's multi-resolution, and you see here a slider or options to subdivide and delete the thing. And the slider you can change. So when you go back with a multi-resolution, you get the cube back, or you get a sphere. So, and there are options for linear subdivision and normal subdivision. So when I subdivide the cube further, so I get a sphere. So, and when you go back with a multi-resolution, so it starts with a cube. And the same thing here, but for this example I used linear subdivision. So I'm using the slider and go back. You see this is the default cube, and this is the first subdivision, and this is the second. And you can combine those things here. And so I go back to the first multi-resolution level, so no multi-resolution, so I delete everything. So now I'm using linear subdivision and subdivide it once and a second time. So, and now I'm turning off linear subdivision and subdivide it again. So now you see it becomes a round edged cube. So, and you can go further with a subdivision, so you get nice round edges. So this is a combination of the linear subdivision and the normal subdivision. So when I go back to this point, so, and I'm using only the normal subdivision, it gets a sphere. And when I combine everything, so then you can create such rounded shapes. Okay, so that's about multi-resolution. So the next thing is about stretching. So when you use a tool here and you deform your mesh, so like this, then the wireframe gets stretched. So I'm using solo view. And you see here now problems appear because of the stretching. So you need in this area more topology here. So you have to do something because you need it. So, and there are a few things you can do now. So the first thing here is, I show you, is here a voxel remesh. So when you long press here, you can change here the resolution. And remember here this smooth shading thing here. So turn off smooth shading and see how your mesh looks like. So when you press now here the remesh button, you get a mesh looking like this here. So the thing is, you have to smooth out this thing a little bit before. So there's a operations menu, and here it's possible to use a smoothing slider and relax the mesh a little bit and smooth it. So now it looks fine. And when you look close, you see here problems. So you have to combine some workflows to get a nice mesh. So you have to use maybe multi-resolution. So you can use the normal subdivision to get more topology and smooth out the mesh. So you see here the difference. And again, so it gets smoother. And the next thing is, now when you remesh, you get here a nice mesh with a voxel remesh topology, and the stretching is gone. So now you can go further and stretch again. So now at this point the stretching becomes big, and now subdivide again and remesh, and then you get a nice mesh. Okay. So the next thing what's possible is dynamic topology. So maybe you have such a mesh. So I turn the wireframe on using solo mode, and you need more details on this thing here. So I'm using the clay tool and I'm claying. So, but you need finer details. So there's a setting here. So dynamic topology. And here it's possible to activate this dynamic topology. And you can set here the detail and the detail based on. So normally I use constant, and speed and quality. You can test it out, what's the best for you. And you can use here the stroke fall off. This is a setting you find here. This is a fall off, so you can change it. So And then when you brush here on your mesh, you get more detail where you need it. So no more stretching. So you see here, you can create details, but the rest of the cube stays low poly. So this is dynamic topology, and yeah. And this dynamic topology thing, there are more options here. So it's also possible to remesh the whole thing here. And I explain it later. So yeah. So the next thing is the Quadremesher. The Quadremesher here, this is this tool here. This is a in-app purchase. So it's only available for iOS. So, or for the desktop release, what's coming. So this remesh option is a very nice thing. So you tap on your mesh and press remesh. And so you get a nice topology, and yeah, this is very nice. So inside the app, there is, let me see. I'm not sure where it is. Oh, map instant mesh. Yeah. Here you find in-app Quadremesher. So the instant mesh, and you see here it appears here now in the MISC menu, and the Quadriflow. But these are tools, or they don't work, or not fine. So you can test it. So I change here the target quads and try to remesh. So this is the instant Quadremesher, and here this is what you get with the other remesher. But they are so bad, I don't need them. So the best thing is here the in-app purchase Quadremesher from Exosite, and this is a fantastic tool. So yeah. Okay, the next thing is, it's called Boolean operations, but this is not a tutorial about Boolean and so on. So I'm only showing here what it does. So you see here, I turn the outline on. You see here this object here, and this object is a joint object. So when you press here, you can separate the topology. And now it's possible to pick every object here. And when you select all the objects and press here the Boolean operation thing here, so it's possible to Boolean these objects together. So press Boolean, and now you see the topology changes, and they are stick together and welded. So this is the thing about the Boolean things, and it's also possible to do such things when I hide a mesh and do the same operation with a hidden part. So you get a hole then, or yeah, such a thing. Okay, so Boolean is an extra tutorial or video. So yeah. Then here the other things, so this mesh here is voxel remeshed, and this is separate topology and tris, so a mix of everything. So maybe you pick this mesh here and you press here voxel remesh. You get a welded combined mesh, and yeah, it looks like this. The other thing is, yeah, I think I have to go further. So yeah, let's do the next thing. So I'm hiding the Quadremesher. And this group, this was the Boolean thing. So the next thing is the decimation thing. So it's about decimation. So I'm starting here with this thing here, and you see here this edge looks jaggy, so not a nice mesh. So when you turn the wireframe on and you look close, you see that the edge is a perfect edge. So it's only about this smooth shading thing. So this here is your mesh or your object, and it looks sharp and clean and not jaggy. And when you turn on smooth shading, then you have this problem with the edge shading. So this is important. So I turn on the wireframe. So, and now this video or this part of the video is about decimation. So I'm using now the voxel remesh to get a higher mesh density. So it looks like this. And the decimation thing you find here in the topology menu under MISC. So decimation. So you can press decimate, decimate, decimate. Sorry, I have to go back. So my setting here, I need 50%. And yeah, and here you can preserve painting and uniform faces and so on, and and preserve the borders. So, but let's test it like this. So decimate, decimate. So this is decimation. And when you turn the wireframe off, you see here a point. So this is the starting point, and now I decimate with redo. And you see here how it changes. So you see the point where you have to stop. I think. So, but one thing I show you. So, this is the voxel remeshed mesh. And you can use here the operations menu and smooth only the edges a little bit. So you see here the edges become round, but only a small amount of smoothing. So it looks a little bit rounder. And then when you use the decimation thing, then something happens. You see here a difference at the edges. So it starts to decimate in another way. So this is an important thing to get really nice low values of decimation and keep the borders. So this is a big difference when you use a little bit of smoothing on the edges. You get a other result when you decimate. Okay, so the next thing is, keep the topology, dynamic remesh and quadremesher. So I pick this mesh here. And you see here the blobs and the creases. So yeah. And I want to remesh the whole thing here. But I want to keep the topology, so as it is, or almost like it is. So the first thing is I try to smooth it out and use one subdivision so it gets a little bit smoother. So, and the next thing is when I'm using here voxel remesh. So now my mesh is welded together. So it's a single mesh now and no separate parts like before. So here is so when I move here, the things here you see here, it's not sticked together. So with a quadremesher here, it's possible to keep the topology. So maybe I press here quadremesh. Let's see what we get. Takes a few seconds. It takes long. Yeah, I think it had the remeasure is calculating very long. Yeah, I think I stop it. I hope it stops. Or I crashed the app. I think I restart. So this was the last point. Okay. Yeah, I start with the other thing here. So in the operations menu we can use a little bit of smoothing, so then the Quadremesher has not such a hard job. So I try it again, if you like it now. So let's remesh it. Yeah, I think it's a hard job. Maybe the layers causes problems, or I'm not sure. Yeah, I think he didn't like it. So this is not what we want. Okay, so I smooth it again, and I show you other thing here. So with a dynamic remesh here, it's possible to remesh and keep the mesh like it is. So when I press remesh, so I think he Nomad doesn't like this mesh, or yeah, it's better. So you think now it's remeshed and the topology is kept, and yeah, this is when you need more detail and don't want to voxel remesh. So I go back, and so what's the next topic? So here voxel remesh merges everything and welds everything together. When you use a dynamic remesh, it keeps the topology and you can remesh your mesh, and the Quadremesher does it. So okay, and the last point is merging topology, and yeah. So one thing is I'm using now the select tool and I'm selecting these meshes, and then here at the bottom option 1 is to voxel remesh the whole thing like this. The next option is to pick the meshes here and use the join option. So press join, then it's also only one object. But you can separate the topology again. So you can split it like this. And the last thing is I want to show you is here. So this is a box, and I split the whole thing now, and I'm using here the setting none. So I'm split, oops, this was not a nice split. So I split this mesh, and you see here it's split it. And now when I pick the two meshes and I join them, you see here something happens. So I go a step back. And when you join it, you see here, yeah, it gets welded. So when you press now here the three dots and press separate, then Nomad says could not separate. So the object has only one, it's only one mesh. And there's a setting. You have to be careful with this setting. So here in the import settings, you find here advanced settings. So submenu. So here it's possible to keep the topology. So it will prevent the mesh from welding. Okay. And this is also active inside Nomad. And not only for import. So this is more like a hidden feature or so. And then now when you select the both meshes and join it, then when you press the three dots, you can separate it again. So, and it's also possible to here when you use the smooth tool, not the smooth, the move tool, sorry. You see here your mesh is not welded. So this is an important setting when you don't want such splitted meshes or to weld together. And don't forget to disable this advanced setting if you don't want it again. Yeah. And here's the last thing here is a question. So is it possible to remesh only parts of the mesh? And yeah, it's possible. So here I masked here the part I don't want to remesh, but it's only possible with a dynamic topology remesh. So here you can set a detail, and when you press remesh, so it only remeshes the unmasked area. Okay, so yeah, this whole topology thing is a hard nut. But yeah, maybe you find something interesting in this video or not. I don't care. So let's have fun sculpting and ciao.